Hey guys, what's up? So I'm back with episode 4 today, and I'll be sharing my experiences with popular apps used in the Netherlands. Okay, believe it or not, but one of the first apps people download when they get here is actually Tinder. I've noticed dating apps are actually such a common thing. I used to think that like there was only Tinder, but there's others like Bumble, Hinge, and there's probably more. But there's actually a spectrum on the apps where it goes from looking from general friends to hookups, then to partners. And then there's even looking for entrepreneurs, like in similar industries and all. And I was like, wow. Honestly, growing up, I just always used to think that Tinder and all these other apps was like exaggerations that were made in the movies until like I got here, of course. And then I saw, yeah, it's real. For example, and this may sound a bit dumb to some people watching, but if I had watched Tinder Swindler before I came to the Netherlands, I would think that that's like a common case. Because in my part of the world, like, or let me say in the circles I used to be in, right? It was never like a common thing or even a thing to use these apps. So I really knew nothing about them. As you can see, the whole dating apps concept was just something that just wasn't associated with normal in my head before. So now on to travel. So you're definitely gonna need apps like NS and 9292 if you don't want to get lost. Well, okay, you won't get lost because obviously there's Google Maps. But then those apps just make life way easier. So NS is the app for like the train system. And then 9292 is basically for the whole public transport system. So trains, trams, buses, taxis. Yeah, it'll just give you like the best route that you should take. And for me, the bomb with the whole transport thing was just how efficient the public transport in the Netherlands is. It's still processing in my head to this day. I don't think I've seen a train that's later than 5 minutes. If it's later than 5 minutes, it's been cancelled and it's not coming. And you'll be alerted about that. So it's so crazy for me. Trains are just not late. And I'm just always like, wow. This efficiency passes on to their fast food delivery system. Like, it's just so easy to gain weight. You can literally order food from almost every restaurant and it will come to your house within 30 to an hour, literally. I think for my first 2 weeks in the Netherlands, I ate fast food exclusively. And okay, this was also because I didn't know how to cook back then. But you can see how easy it is to just eat out. For food delivery, I usually use the app Stasbezorg. I don't really know how to say it. Some people say Tausbezorg. And yeah, and Uber Eats. There are companies that also just deliver groceries, but it's much, much cheaper to just walk into like a local grocery store like Albert Heijn, Yambo, or Aldi and just buy it yourself. Another thing that amazes me is just how much the Netherlands trusts their people. So, okay, let me give you some context. So back home, right, when I go to the shops, there's no self-checkout tills. And they check like after you bought from the supermarket or something. But in the Netherlands, like in almost every like store, every grocery store, there's self-checkout tills, right? And the security after you've bought, they don't even check whether what you're going out with is actually what you paid for. And for me, this was something I had to like get used to. Like, wow, you guys really trust everyone this much, and that's just something I find quite amazing. Even with trains, some stations you can really get on the train if you wanted to without paying, and this is also something that's just like wow, people will get on, people will pay, they'll get on, and just go. But also maybe this is because of the fear behind the fines. Because a fine on the train, if you just go on without paying, is like usually times 5 or maybe even times 8 your ticket price. Another big difference between the Netherlands and the rest of or other parts of the world is the banking system. For example, Visa cards are barely used in the Netherlands. Like some supermarkets and stores actually don't take Visa cards or even cash. Instead, they use Ideal. Ideal is an e-commerce payment system for banks in the Netherlands. So there's banks like ING, ABN AMRO, Rabobank, and many more that people use. So after you open a bank account, which you definitely need to do, you will download the app for the bank you have. And then now you'll be able to do online banking and life will just be easier. So yeah, this is the end of the video. A bit shorter than the other videos, I know. But thank you so much for watching. And please make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment. And see you next week.